Imagine being lost in a maze, running in circles, hitting dead ends, and questioning if there's even a way out. That's how Zion felt, trapped in his failures, wondering if his life had any purpose. But what if I told you that every twist, turn, and setback in his life was part of a bigger plan? A plan so perfect it would change his life forever. Zion was a dreamer, a young man filled with ambition, but weighed down by the heavy hand of failure. He lived in a quiet town surrounded by hills, where every morning he'd wake up with hope, only to end the day defeated. His latest failure had hit him hard. After saving for years to start a small online business, it crumbled within months. His savings were gone, and with them, his confidence. He avoided his friends, dreaded family gatherings, and spent hours questioning, why me? If God has a plan for me, why does it feel like he's forgotten me? One evening, overwhelmed and broken, Zion wandered to the riverbank. The sound of water flowing over rocks felt like the only thing that hadn't given up on him. He picked up a pebble and threw it into the water. "Why, God?" he shouted. "Why am I even here?" An old man dressed in a simple white robe appeared from the trees. His presence was calming, almost otherworldly. "Do you really want to know why?" the man asked. Startled, Zion nodded. "I feel like I'm walking in darkness. There's no way out." The old man smiled. "Let me tell you a story. There was once a farmer named Adel," the old man began. "He lived in a village plagued by drought. Year after year he toiled in his fields, but the crops failed, leaving him angry and desperate. He began to curse his fate, questioning why God would let him suffer. One day Adel noticed a single plant growing in the middle of his barren field. He thought, why care for this insignificant thing when everything else is gone? But something compelled him to nurture it. Over time, the plant grew into a tree that bore rare fruit that changed Adel's life forever. You see, the drought wasn't a punishment. It was God's way of guiding Adel to a different kind of abundance. Zion stared at the old man, confused. "But what does that have to do with me? I'm not a farmer, and I don't see any miraculous tree in my life." The old man chuckled. "That's because you're still looking at the empty field, not the seed God has planted for you. Have patience, Zion. Trust the process." Before Zion could respond, the old man walked away, leaving him alone with his thoughts. That night, Zion couldn't sleep. The story lingered in his mind. For the first time, instead of focusing on what he had lost, he began to think about what he still had. The next morning, he took a step, just a small one. He helped a neighbor repair his shop, a task that earned him nothing but a heartfelt thank you. But it felt good. Day by day, Zion started noticing opportunities. He volunteered at a shelter, taught kids in the neighborhood, and even repaired bikes to make extra cash. These weren't grand achievements, but they filled his days with purpose. Months later, one of the kids Zion had mentored won a national scholarship competition. At the award ceremony, the boy said, "I owe this to Zion Bai, who believed in me when no one else did." That one sentence transformed Zion's life. The recognition caught the attention of a local organization, which offered him a job as a community mentor. With time, Zion's impact grew, and so did his confidence. Years later, Zion stood at the riverbank where he had once cried out in despair. This time, he was surrounded by the very people whose lives he had touched. As he gazed at the flowing water, he whispered, "Now I see it, God. Your plan was never about my failures. It was about leading me to my purpose." Life struggles often feel like dead ends, but they are God's way of redirecting us to something greater. Zion's story is a reminder that every setback is a setup for a comeback. So the next time you feel lost, remember this. The plan is already in motion. You just need to trust it.